Hi friends, welcome to LifeStream Live with Angie. Today I have Missy Teats here, which is from the Elmcroft Senior Living, and she is the sales director there. Last week, well, as you know though, this month, the month of November, is known as a National Caregiving Month. And so last week we talked a little bit about caregiving and some of the tips though that a caregiver can do in order to make things a little bit easier in the home, as such as, having a binder available with all the communication information in there, any important information regarding the receiver, and just trying to make things a little bit easier for you and the receiver. But like I said, though, today I do have Missy Teats from Elmcroft here, and we're going to talk about caregiving on, as the other side, as far as, in Elmcroft, and how important caregiving is, whether it is doing it personally inside of a home or with an organization. We're also going to be talking a little bit about the Alzheimer's, because Missy has been very involved in that, and then possibly a little bit about dementia. So welcome, Missy. Thank you for joining me today.
Yes, thank you, Angie.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a challenge connecting this week because you've been a very busy lady. But tell us a little bit, though, about yourself and about Elmcroft. But one thing, though, as we do see behind you, you do have an award back there, and I would like to congratulate you on that. And tell us what that award is for, though.
I sure will. So I'm the sales director, and we were given the award today, as a matter of fact, from the Alexandria Monroe Chamber of Commerce. Elmcroft of Muncie was named the Business of the Year award.
That is awesome.
So,
well deserved.
The people vote for that, so it goes by population vote, and
Nice.
So we got the most votes. And that's how we won the award and got this beautiful plaque today. So
excellent, right? That's great.
Thank you.
Congratulations, well deserved.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's perfect. So let's carry on, though. Let's talk about caregiving, because it's an important role, a critical role for many. So tell us more, though, about caregiving in Elmcroft.
So we have assisted living and memory care here. We have two separate buildings. So we have staff 24/7 in both buildings with nursing and CNAs. So we are very equipped to help if there's a need. You never know when somebody is going to have a fall. Fall risk, is very common with seniors and the older population. So we are here if they need help. So we have staff that work primarily in each building, so that in the memory care, we call it the Chronicles building. Okay. They are more trained and specialized with Alzheimer's and all other forms of dementia.
Sure.
So it makes it nice because, it's a lot of different redirection and training and different activities for each building. Sure. That, everybody is a caregiver here. Mm-hmm. We all help when we need it. We see it. We help. Everybody has the heart for that. My administrator has been here for many years, and she loves the residents.
Sure.
And when you're a caregiver, no matter what capacity, whether you are a housekeeper or the chef or the sales director or the administrator or any role that you have, it's you have to have a special place in your heart to be a caregiver. It's not an easy job, no matter what position you're in.
Exactly. And that's one thing, though, that I did mention last week, though, is about, anyone can be a caregiver. It doesn't matter if you're, a spouse or an aunt, uncle, a grandchild, or like your case, at Elmcroft, whether, like you mentioned, a housekeeper or the administrator or yourself, everybody plays that role at one point or another. So, it's a very, very important role.
Yes. And it's nice having, with here, we've got somebody here all the time. So if there's a need in the middle of the night or first thing in the morning, or, and somebody's care can change quickly. So here, everybody has their own care plan that is assessed with our director of nursing. And so they can be in two different apartments side by side, but they have totally different care levels because everybody's different and they have their own plan. It can be a husband and a wife and they have different care plans.
Definitely.
So it's very individualized, and so we can meet their needs as an individual.
Exactly. And as far as those care plans, those are done by doing an assessment on those individuals as far as all of their activities of daily living, and what is best, suited to meet their needs, correct?
Yes, and also their history. And it's really important. It's important everywhere, but like in memory care, it is very important over there because something that might be perceived as a behavior might not be a behavior because it might be something from their past, from their career that they had.
Exactly.
And if you're not trained with that, to have that knowledge of what to look for, like for an example, somebody that's maybe on the floor and doing something, and you're thinking that they keep falling. Well, we had a resident that actually was a carpet layer and was in construction, and he was working. He was working. He was meaning to be down there. And if you don't have the training to learn these tips about, everybody is different,
Right.
but that little detail like that was huge.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's also another thing though that was mentioned last week too. One of the things is getting to know as much as you can about that individual, their past and their current history, so that way you can better accommodate their assistance and everything. So no, yeah, you're definitely talking spot on.
Yeah, and just like sometimes they will see their children, and like the wife might see this, like maybe the mom might see the son and call the son by his dad's name, which was her husband who's been gone for many years, but that's who she thinks he is because he looks like his dad. She's thinking that's her husband from back in the day because that's what he looked like.
Sure.
There's so many little details like that that people don't realize. And the nice thing about being here that I see that I really, I guess, love helping families with personally is when they're here, no matter where, whether they're in the assisted living or the memory care, the families can go back to being the family member and not the caregiver.
Exactly.
And, because they get tired and they have to do different things that they maybe never obviously wanted to maybe do for their parent or grandparent. And they can go back to being the caring family member instead of the caregiver and let us take that role, and they can go back to, having fun with them again.
Most definite, yeah. And I too, back in the day, I had a sister that was 38 years old, had a major stroke. And so, a lot of us as the family, because I came from a family of 6 siblings. And so some of us we took turns of trying to help her out and, try to keep her out of a long-term care facility. Unfortunately, she did have to go for a little while for therapy and everything, but it is, especially when you are trying to raise a family of your own and trying to work full time and, take care of your loved one, it can become very, very challenging and very overwhelming. So, it's great to be able to have the alternatives and, and a great organization though that you can trust to be able to care for your loved one.
Yeah, and it's nice. We have a lot of longevity here with our staff. Just in our morning meeting with our department heads, we have over 60 years of experience just here at Elmcroft.
It's wonderful. That's great.
And that, that says a lot because they know the residents, they know the business, they know, all aspects of it, and have that in their heart that they've done this for so many years that they are meant to be here.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I know you mentioned you do have the memory care. And that does, that takes a special talent to be able to, work in the memory care because those are individuals though that are having dementia and Alzheimer's, like you had mentioned, and, or just, some forgetfulness. But, and like we know though, with these types of diseases, you never know what's going to trigger the individual. And so you have to be able to be prepared of how to de-escalate any issues that arise. So yeah,
Yeah.
it can be quite challenging at times. So
Yes, for sure. It's you know, and they're, they might not realize it, but they are very lucky that their family has cared enough to bring them here.
mhm,
They might not feel that way at the time, and they might come and go not feeling that way. And I know
right.
it's a hard decision for the family, but you know, it's a lot of times it's easier and better for everybody involved
Exactly.
because of the training, because the families usually aren't trained like the staff are here
Mhm.
for that role. And it can change really quickly, like with Alzheimer's and all other forms of dementia, they can have a really quick change. And the family
Yeah.
doesn't understand why, and they get frustrated, and it can cause a lot of um, issues.
Definitely. It's not easy for anyone, especially making that tough decision, as to when it's time, but it is, especially like I said, if you have a great support team, it does help make the transition a little bit easier,
Yeah.
but and around the holidays, I know many times if family are coming home, and I know the situation might be a little different now with COVID and everything, but usually around the holidays is, I'm sure you see more of an escalated time, more interest because family members are coming home, they're seeing their loved one maybe struggling a little bit, and it's like, okay, where do we start? How do we start? And tough, tough.
Yeah, it is. And now is a big time for me because families, like what you said, might live out of town and have been talking on the phone. And sometimes mom and dad can fake it pretty good for that phone call or
Right.
whatever. And then when they come and spend a day or two for the holiday, they're like, oh my, I didn't realize this was happening the way it is, their living situation and things. And so I am here to help them and do whatever I need to do to get them in a safe environment.
Most definitely, yeah. What do you find most, when families are starting to contact you, as far as, if they have been a caregiver and they're deciding though it's time to make that transition, but what has been identified the most that they're seeing, as far as some pointers so that we can give to some of the viewers of what to look out for their loved ones. Perhaps, say maybe the medication is still sitting there, they're noticing though that mom and dad isn't taking their medicine, or they're still wearing the same clothing. So what do you usually see or hear?
Yes. Well, one advice that I actually have is a lot of times families think, well, I want to keep them home as long as I can.
Yeah.
So, my opinion and advice is sometimes it's better for the actual um, family member to get them here earlier rather than later, because while they're more able to be more aware and to learn where they are for their new surrounding,
Hmm.
is easier on them rather than later, and it's harder on them.
Sure.
And they get here and they are getting their medications regular. If you don't live with them, you don't actually know, are they really taking those medicines? Even if they are going down, you don't know that they're taking them,
Hmm.
you
Exactly.
know, and the meals with the nutrition. and actually eating and getting the right nutrition, and the exercise and the brain activity with interacting with others, that is huge. You know, a lot of times they're home by themselves, even if they have family that they live with, they're not interacting like they are in this setting with other people around and having meals and watching others eat and keeping them so that they can eat and having it put in front of them 3 meals a day, and you know, having the housekeeping and laundry that are here to help. So it's, you know, it really is a big all around picture with everything. And I actually see people come and actually get better because they are getting their meds like they're supposed to. And they are getting meals put in front of them 3 times a day. And they are getting exercise and talking and meeting and making new friends.
Sure.
So they're getting more activity brain-wise with talking, no matter if it's assisted living or memory care, you know. And it's so funny because a lot of times, more times than not, families say, oh, they're alone. They won't go out and, you know, do bingo or do, you know, any of our activities. And then they do. They come out. They, you know, we're very good at encouraging them to come out, and you know, they make friends in the dining room, and you know, we have a lot of church groups, and we have reading, and we have puzzles, and we have so many different activities. And part of our thing is that we like to learn what they do like to do, so we can even add an activity if we need to, because if they like to do something that we're not doing, odds are somebody else does too. So let's try it.
Exactly. Yeah. And is that one of the things though that, like say when there's an admission coming in, do you do like a questionnaire to find out, you know, as far as what some of the past interests were of those individuals, and, you know, and what they're currently interested in, just so that way you can help meet those needs?
Yeah, we do. Our activities department, they're phenomenal. And they go around and they do one-on-one, you know, get to know you and talk with them and the family. And we actually also have a resident ambassador program. And so we have a couple residents that are ambassadors that are doing the welcoming and making them feel comfortable and kind of, you know, taking them under their wing and inviting them and trying to, you know, encourage them to do things. So that makes it nice too.
That's great. Yeah, that's really good. You know, and not only for the new person coming in, but also for those ambassadors, you know, because that helps keep them active, you know, and makes them feel very well loved and worthy and everything, you know, which is very, very important. So especially during a transition time, because as we mentioned, it's not easy for anyone. So
Right.
yeah. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know we talked about the memory care. Is there anything about the assisted living part that we want to touch base on?
Well, we have our assisted living. You can be very independent here, and you can also get help as you need it, and you can age in place and not have to move. So hospice can come in and, you know, do end of life if need be when that time is right. So it makes it nice. We have, you know, a lot of very independent people here. We have a lot of people that like to walk and do exercise. And it makes it nice because no matter what the weather is, we have a big open, like a square that's really a nice size, and they can walk even if it's bad weather.
Nice.
And you know, you keep moving or you lose it, and I truly believe that.
Right.
And so that makes it nice. We have a beauty shop in both buildings. We have therapy. We have a lot of activities. So there's always, you know, we've got music. I mean, we have a lot going on every day.
That's great. Yeah. And, you know, like I mentioned, though, it's, you know, the goal is though to keep individuals independently for as long as possible. But, you know, for some though, there does come that point in time though, to where it's time for that transition to happen. although it's not easy for anyone, and so again, that's why we're talking with you today, is to talk about that other side that we may have to look at down the road. So it's always great to hear, the information coming from you, and and also, talking about Elmcroft and the different, opportunities that can be provided. So that's great. Yeah. I know also, as we mentioned, you've been a part of the Alzheimer's Association. And this year, because I met you at one of the Delaware County, was it the chamber meetings or whatever?
Muncie on the Move, maybe?
Yes, Muncie on the Move. That's it. Correct.
Yes.
And so you talked about the Alzheimer's there, and you were a big part of that this year. So tell us a little bit about the Alzheimer's.
Well, I have been for the last 2 years the Walk to End Alzheimer's chairperson for Madison and Delaware County. So I've been very involved with that for the past couple years, and it's just such a great association, I guess, to help with families who are they're a good resource.
Definitely.
For families.
Yes.
So it's good awareness, public awareness.
Exactly.
And my grandmother-in-law had Alzheimer's years ago, and so I can relate from the family side as well. So it's got a special place in my heart from personal and work now. So
definitely. Yeah. And LifeStream was also a part of the Walk to End Alzheimer's.
Yes.
We had our group in the Richmond area, and then we also had for the Delaware County area and everything. Obviously it looked different this year. Everything was done virtually, but hopefully it's a success for the Alzheimer's Association, because like I said, everybody had to do things on their own, and try to walk and raise funds and everything. But, it's definitely a great organization. And like you mentioned, it's important to try to bring that awareness, out, more, because unfortunately, as we all know, Alzheimer's and dementia is becoming more and more prominent in individuals. And we just need to try to get the word out as much as we can.
Yes. And I'm also very proud of you and your LifeStream Services organization with your Dementia Friends program. I have been involved with that in Madison County, and trying to get involved with you bringing it to Delaware County now. So looking forward to that.
Definitely.
That's a great program too. So
it is. Yeah. Matter of fact, yep. And that's one thing, and I'll go ahead and promote that like I do every week. So I assume you are a dementia friend?
Yes.
Perfect. Yep.
I've had training and everything. I'm official.
Woohoo. All right. So it's very important, because, the more people we can become dementia friendly about this, like I said, it's a very simple, session to sit through to become, a dementia friend, whether you want to do it individually or as an organization. We can, definitely do that. And also, our support groups, because many times, it's just as important to be able to sit and listen to others talk about, the same issues that another one is going through. So it's very important. And this is something, though, that we are trying to bring more awareness about, and also, as you mentioned, to bring to the Delaware County. So that is something that is going to be happening within the near future for us. So
yay!
On the move, that's right. But Missy, is there anything else, though, you would like to share with us, though, about caregiving or anything? I know you are a very busy lady, and I don't want to take up much of your time. But, do you have any other information or tips that you would like to share?
If anybody has any questions at all, I mean, they are more than welcome to reach out to me. You want me to give my cell number?
Give your number. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, call me, text me. My cell number is 765-348-4112. So if you have any questions at all, if I can't help you, I will try to find somebody that can for whatever your need is. So
Definitely. Yeah. No, it's like I said, caregiving is a very critical and important role. And it doesn't matter if you're, an aunt and uncle, friend, everyone plays a role at one point or another. So, I know it's not easy for family members to make a decision, for that transition point, but at times it does come to that. So,
yeah.
so
And I'm giving tours. So if anybody would like a tour of our community here, I would love to show people around. I can do in person or virtual and, talk about what all we have to offer here and see how I can help.
Definitely. Yeah. No, that would be great, and like I said, the goal was to be able to interview a caregiver, to be able to, talk to them about, about their role and what their outlook on caregiving and everything. But, because of COVID, we are a little restricted of meeting and greeting people. And also talking with someone though on the receiving end, how important it is. So maybe in the near future, we can set that up when things calm down a little bit, but
Of course.
across some time.
Right.
But so otherwise, if you don't have anything else to share, I will go ahead and talk about the senior Medicare or the senior Medicare patrol and what's happening in LifeStream world. So you can either stay on board with us, or if you have other things to take care of, you can go ahead and exit out. That's up to you, Missy.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for the invitation, and it's nice seeing you, and I will talk to you soon.
All right. Sounds great.
Get a hold of me about the dementia friends.
I will, definitely.
Okay. Thanks, Angie.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Okay, friends. So as I mentioned, we're going to talk a little bit about the Senior Medicare Patrol. I have a few tips on that because that is something, though, that is very important. Like I mentioned, before too, as a caregiver, part of our role is to make for sure, though, the safety and well-being of the individuals that we care for. So a few of the prevention tips and red flags is, we need to be cautious as to how individuals are answering their phone. If they don't recognize the number, definitely, to ignore that answer or that message. Or again, have them write down the number and the message. And then when someone is around, to be able to take that call with them, to, validate that call would be a good thing. Again, screening those voicemails and everything is very important because we don't want any information going out or, or them calling and giving that important personal information out to anyone. So make them sure that they are safe that way. Any government agencies and everything, make for sure that they are staying safe and not giving out a lot of information that isn't needed to be, because we know that there are those imposters out there trying to get as much information as possible. Wiring and sending money, discourage that as much as possible. And again, there are some calls that go out claiming that their family members, grandchildren, and they're, in trouble and needing the money that way. So try to discourage any type of wiring, sending money. Making decisions under pressure, discourage that. Make for sure, though, that it is a trusted person or agency that is helping with these decisions. Checking any types of statements, bills, credit cards, anything like that. Making sure that there's not any unauthorized charges on those. And try to keep as much communication and trust with the individual, with the receiver, because we definitely don't want them keeping any secrets from us, like if they're sending any money or, if they're caught up in a, say, publisher's scam, anything like that, because those are pretty common as well. One of the new scams, though, that is out there is that was said, though, that Medicare is sending out new cards with chips in them, and that is not the case. So if you have received a call or an email regarding that, you may want to contact the fraud department to to report that type of scam, so that way that can try to get a stop put to that. So just a few tips and red flags to look out for the SMP. So what else is coming up though with LifeStream services? Again, through the month of November, we do have our Medicare Part D open enrollment question and answers. Again, we have the different locations and times that are going on, and so you can check out through our website for that information. Our Gleaners, which is offered in the Centerville area, that is another assistance for individuals who receive home delivered meals to receive a supplemental food program. So if you know of someone that can benefit from this, you can inquire at our organization to find out more. The Senior Safety Food Net distribution and also our curbside meals. Again, these vary in the different counties, so you would want to find out through our organization where those are offered at and eligibility for those. A new event that is coming up, which is Wednesday, December 2nd. It is our Holiday Happening Tailgate. This is going to be held at Parker City Building. At 315 West Jackson Street, and this is going to be a drive-through event celebrating the holiday with some caroling, hot cocoa, candy canes, holiday treats, and of course the resources for older adults. We will be practicing social distancing and safe precautions for everyone through this event. It's happening 11 to 1 December 2nd. But a good time just to get out. Like I said, you stay in your car, you can hear some caroling and just enjoy a little bit of the holiday that time. Our Jerry Fit program, again, this is a program that is still in the works of starting up, but we want to start spreading the word about this. This is exercising in your home from your chair. This can be done as a team, for the caregiver receiver. And the goal of this Jerry Fit program is to increase muscular strength, improve balance and coordination, boost the motor skills, reaction time, enhance your flexibility and gait lesson, and also help with arthritic and manage chronic disease. So if anyone is interested in this, you can contact our office and we can guide you through on how to set up for this program. And these are all done virtually. So like I said, you get to stay in your home and you can work together as a team and do these exercises from the comfort of home and in your chair. Friendly Collar program. This is a program that has been going on for a few months now. It is primarily a volunteer-based program for individuals 18 and older to make these calls. And the goal of this is to provide weekly calls to isolated individuals in their homes. So if you are interested in volunteering, or you know of someone though that could benefit from receiving these calls, contact our office and we will get you connected with Laura Bray, our volunteer administrator. It is the holiday time, so we have our Angel Wish program going on. We are still accepting donations and sponsors for this, and also looking for delivery elves. This program covers all of our service areas, so all 12 counties, and we are ending our sponsorship donation on November 30th. So you still have a little bit of time to contribute to this program. But what this does, this program provides a gift pack to individuals just to help bring a little bit more holiday cheer to them. So a $25 donation can provide one gift pack to an individual. And like I said, there are levels of sponsorship. So if you are from an organization and interested in supporting a good cause this holiday, check out the level of sponsorships that we have. And again, you can check those out through our website or contact our office and find out how you can donate that way. Like I said, though, the monetary donation, $25, that can be made either through Facebook or our webpage as well. And again, the delivery elf how more rewarding is to get out and help deliver these gift packs to all of the individuals throughout our county. So if you're interested, hit us up. And last but not least is our PASTA program, which is our Parenting a Second Time Around. The goal of this program is to help provide support for individuals who are providing kinship care or grandparents raising grandchildren. These sessions can be done either in person or virtually. And the goal is to, like I said, help provide the support, but also, help give ideas and support to how with the transitions or difficult behaviors and so forth. So if you or know of someone though that are interested in these workshops, they can contact the office or contact me personally, and I can get you set up with the support group of the PASTA. So that is it that we have for today. Again, thank you to Missy Teats for joining in and talking about caregiving at an organization. Like I said, though, our goal is to keep individuals living independently for as long as possible. But at times we do have to make that tough decision and help make a transition, to the other side as far as a supportive living or a memory care and so forth. So thank you again, Missy, for joining me, and congratulations on Elmcroft winning that award. But next week is Thanksgiving, so we will not be holding a Facebook Live. So we will see everyone the following week after. So see you all later. Have a great holiday and stay safe.